A Storm Watch 7 weather alert, double trouble for our region. We are keeping a close eye on Tropical Storm Isaias moving up the coast, where it is expected to make landfall in just a matter of hours somewhere around the North and South Carolina state line. And it is expected to strengthen to a hurricane.
Isaias is expected to bring heavy rain and possible severe flooding to our region tomorrow. But right now, there's another storm that's put part of our area under a severe thunderstorm warning. And we have Storm Watch 17 coverage tonight as we prepare for Isaias's arrival.
But let's begin with the latest on what's going on right now. And we get that with Storm Watch 7 Chief Meteorologist Bill Kelly. What an active day already, Bill.
Yeah, we're talking about 36 hours from between now and tomorrow night that is just going to maybe Wednesday morning going to be very active in our area. Okay, so you saw me switch that live from the warnings to the radar. Here's a setup of the radar. We're dealing with a ton of lightning, just a ton, and it extends all the way from the east side of the Chesapeake right through Calvert, Charles County, across to Stafford, Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania, and areas a little bit farther off to the south. So here's what we have in terms of severe thunderstorm warnings. They've lifted from King George County and areas to the south, but they are up, including Fairfax County, up into sections of Prince George's County here, from essentially Upper Marlboro down to Brandywine, and then down farther south to Waldorf. The radar itself, let me show you where these storms are specifically. That leading edge now pushing into Waldorf, heading toward Dumfries and southern parts of Prince William County, over to Stafford and Fredericksburg. Right now, very active for you guys. We've had history with these storms with tornado. At least tornado warnings have been issued. We were on the air covering them for you live. These are all moving from the south to the north at about 30 miles per hour. So as I put this track on it for you, I want you to know that it's going to continue to move to the north. So this puts it in the D.C. metro within the next 45 minutes or so. You know, Waldorf here, essentially within the next few minutes, 409 Dale City. This would be 416 Manassas, 435 Alexandria, right around a half an hour from now. Make sure that you have plenty of warning, or at least some warning here, to go out, get your patio furniture, bring it in, any loose things that may be around, because winds to 60 miles per hour certainly going to be possible with this. And if for no other reason, this is just one of several things we're going to be discussing in the next, again, 24 to 36 hours. So here it is, Isaias. We're looking at 70-mile-per-hour winds, moving to the north, gusts to 85 miles per hour. This is the latest update. We're going to get another one here probably in the next 30 minutes or so, maybe 45. So we're going to track this out for you. But locally, we are under a tropical storm warning, and flooding is going to be a big issue potentially in our area. I'll show you how much rainfall we're expecting and how strong those winds are going to get, and most importantly, the timing of all that. Meteorologist Brian Vandegraff and I are in tonight covering that part of the storm. We'll watch the severe thunderstorm warnings, give you another update in just a bit, guys.
Okay, Bill, thank you. Let's talk some more about that now, because as you just said, the bigger threat is what Tropical Storm Isaias brings tomorrow. As much as 6 inches of rain in some areas. Our Storm Watch 7 team coverage continues now with DC Bureau Chief Sam Ford. He's there at the wharf in Southwest. Sam.
Yes, Allison, one thing I was thinking about is how it's cooled things off after last week. I mean, it actually feels good out here. But as you said, I'm at the wharf in Southwest Washington, where they are experiencing their first weather event. This is a new complex. It is one of many places around the city getting ready for heavy rains and strong winds. At the Washington Harbor in Georgetown, they took a chance some years ago and didn't put up the flood barriers and got flooded, but not this time. They were busy putting them in place today just in case the Potomac leaves its banks. The director of D.C. Emergency Management and Homeland Security says get ready for the next 24 hours.
We do expect flooding in some of our low-lying areas, some of the traditional sort of hot spots around the city where we have seen flooding. We also expect some downed trees, so our residents can expect to see some power outages.
And the director says while you're thinking about it tonight, charge up your devices, things like your laptop, your cell phone, and other devices that you might want to use in case you lose power. Reporting live from Southwest Washington, I'm Sam Ford, ABC 7 News.
Thank you, Sam. It takes far less than a tropical storm to create flooding concerns in Alexandria, and that is where we find ABC 7's Victoria Sanchez. Hello, Victoria.
Hi, Kelly. I'm at the corner of King and Union Streets, and when we talk about flooding in Old Town Alexandria, this is where it hits first. So much so that here we have Starbucks. They hired a private company to put more than 5,200 pounds of sand around its corner shop. Flooding, sandbags, and cleanup aren't new for the shops and restaurants. I spoke to business owners who tell me they'll block their doorways and stay open for as long as they can. An Alexandria resident for 3 decades tells me it's all a part of living in Old Town.
This isn't new at all. That's why I'm down here, to pick up sandbags, because I'm going to have a flood in my backyard if I don't, and it's going to come down into my basement. So
Has that happened before?
Oh yes.
And then what do you do for that?
You put sandbags in the way.
As you can see, she was very lighthearted about this situation. Now, right here, we have the streetery of Old Town, which is where restaurants put out tables and chairs to serve customers outside because of the pandemic. I spoke to one of the restaurants. They tell me they're just going to bring in the wooden tables and chairs. Everything else will stay out because, like I've said, they are used to this flooding. Live in Old Town, Victoria Sanchez, ABC 7 News.
Well, as we've been telling you, when the storm arrives, there are likely going to be some people who lose power. And Dominion Energy is getting crews in place, sending out 30 bucket trucks, including 16 trucks from Fairfax to areas in Virginia that are expected to be hit the hardest. And Dominion Energy says you should also be prepared by creating an emergency kit. 7 is on your side with everything you need to know, including having a flashlight, batteries, and a first aid kit that contains bandages, wipes, any medication that you might have. Also, be sure to carry your health care information. And stay with ABC 7 for live team coverage throughout the evening and all day tomorrow, starting on Good Morning Washington when the storm hits. You can also keep track of the forecast on our website. Go to WJLA.com and on the free ABC 7 weather app.
People were filling up sandbags in Annapolis today in preparation for whatever the tropical system brings. That's where ABC 7 Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell joins us live with more. Hi, Brad.
Hey, Allison, you know, it's been 17 years since Isabel came roaring through here and caused tremendous flooding in Annapolis, but a lot of people still remember it. And you take a look, the town is barely above sea level. If this storm comes through when there is a high tide, there is a fear there will be flooding, and those sandbags you mentioned, well, it's pretty much the only thing people can do to get ready. The city of Annapolis putting out an alert this morning. With Isaias heading this way, residents in the flood-prone town urged to prepare. A build-your-own sandbag center opening in a city park.
I just want to be on the safe side. Not saying anything's going to happen, but I believe in being prepared.
Our basement pretty much floods every time there's a storm like this. Our sump pump goes out, so we need to get sandbags.
Downtown Annapolis is especially vulnerable. 17 years ago, Isabel flooded the market and much of the city dock area, and in the years since, regular high tide flooding has grown more frequent and serious. Today, the concern about Isaias is growing. Those sandbags going in around the market this afternoon, the only defense against a possible storm surge.
Just here to pick up some sandbags to prepare, just in case.
Well, back live now. What you're looking at is something else that's been done to prepare. These slips, boat slips, are usually filled this time of year all the way down what's called Ego Alley here. There are normally boats. Harbor Master put out an alert this afternoon saying it is time to move away, get away from here for safety. They're hoping this storm moves east. If it comes west, then we'll have the flooding. East probably means that they will not have the flooding.
Well, our team coverage of Tropical Storm Isaias continues now with Kid O'Shea and what you should be doing to get your home ready for possible flooding here in our area. He's live now at W.S. Jenks & Son. That's in Northeast Washington. Hi, Kid.
Hey, good afternoon, Allison. In fact, yeah, we want to show you what it's looking like outside right now. It is definitely coming down. We are just off of 8th Street. In fact, the customer just walked into Jenks and said he did not beat the rain. He brought a little umbrella. He could have used a bigger umbrella. Let's talk about some things here. I want to bring in Mike, who is part of the family here and running the business for a long time. And let's talk about those things that people can either get right now, or if you're at home right now, find them because you may need them in the next couple of days. Let's start with the squeegee.
Sure. I mean, I think we have kind of a good sampling of the essentials here. Hopefully you don't need any of this, but if you do need it, we have it. I mean, the squeegee is great for sweeping up waters off the floor. We got the 5-gallon buckets, the gloves in case you have any nasty debris that's left over from the storm. Contractor bags are essential for cleaning up.
And so what's the difference with a contractor bag versus a regular
it's just going to
bag?
be going to be thicker lining, so it can take a little bit more abuse before it starts ripping open.
You were saying sometimes with heavy rains you can run out of the sump pumps. You have plenty of sump pumps right now.
We do have sump pumps in stock right now. We got the shop vacs in stock. Another great product that is absolutely essential during this is hydraulic cement, which can harden in water.
So if someone has a leak in their basement right now.
Boom. Yep. You see it leaking, you know where the source is, you throw that on there, it's going to set.
One thing that you are out of is sandbags, and there's a reason for that.
Well, there's been a little bit of a strain on the supply all summer long. We had a huge rush today to buy sandbags, so we sold out early this morning. I can't speak for other retailers, but I know that we are completely out because couple forward-thinking people got down here early today and wiped us out.
You are the longest operating hardware store in Washington, D.C. You've been through a couple of storms. You said a lot of times people come in afterwards. There's not a lot of prep. But
yes.
What would your advice be to people if they're watching tonight at home?
Learn from today, and the next time it comes around, let's be a little bit better prepared.
All right, coming up after 5 o'clock. Once this rain maybe ends for a little bit, if you need to go outside and get the gutters ready, there's some reminders of some things that you can do outside tonight ahead of the storm that's on its way. We'll have all the details on that when we continue here from Jenks. By the way, they're open until 6 o'clock tonight if you want to get out here.